Hey everyone, welcome back to the Monica Rajput show. So today we are going to discuss about a lot of things from AI, product, mindset and startups and lot more things because we have a special guest. So she loves multitasking and I know her personally very well. So let's welcome to Anjali Sharma. How are you, Anjali?
Hi everyone, I am very excited to be here. I have been talking to Monica for some time, and this is like one time we are discussing proper things here. So I'm very excited for the show, and I hope you'll get like great value out of it. So let's see.
Great. So, Anjali, can you introduce yourself, like a short introduction, and then we'll jump into the things that we plan to discuss?
Sure. So I have done everything, so I don't know which area to kind of focus on. But I professionally I work as an AI product manager in a US company. So I have been like in the product industry for like 5+ years. I have also built like multiple side projects, and I'm like a pure advocate of say mindset and possibilities. So I also like do a lot of work on those areas. That's like a quick intro of everything that I am right now.
That's great, Anjali. I am, very inspired the work you are doing. It's really, really inspiring for the women, for the
I
men as well. So, Anjali, you have built Land Better Job in just weeks. So, how
Yeah.
was your experience building that?
Yeah, so actually it was 48 hours. And first, I was already mentoring a lot of product managers because I was able to like get a lot of good jobs and people were reaching out to me. So after mentoring around like 2,500 plus people, I realized as a mentor, I was not able to ease the process for them, even though I was giving all the suggestions and all the advices. But there were like 10 different platforms they have to get into to do something. So that's when I realized that maybe I should do something about it because this was kind of my responsibility to mentor people properly. But it didn't happen. And then suddenly, Lovable Hackathon came up. A person on LinkedIn just texted me that this might be like a right fit for you. And that was also like kind of magic. So I applied for this and I used this Land Better Jobs idea. Initially, we were able to build the entire product in 48 hours. And I was like one of the top 10 people of the first version of Lovable Hackathon. I wrote about it, and I think that's how you also got to know and you got into. So, congratulations for that as well. But that was like the main motivation that I wanted to ease the process of product management job hunting. Everything that you have to do from resume making to entire interview preparation was something that we were offering. Like just to add on like on one thing, after we launched this, we were able to get like 1,000+ users and paying customers. We were just when we checked the data, 90% of the people were actually using just one feature. They were just using the job board. They exactly were not exactly doing resume and all of this. So after 3 months, we kind of scraped 90% of product, moved out of Lovable because Lovable and all of these platforms are very good for starting and experimenting because you do not have any setup cost and things like that. But after a point in time, if you want to scale and if you want to like add custom features to something, you have to build something on your own as such, like out of lab. So then we use Claude Code and like hosted on Vercel and things like that. So that is like the two versions of Land Better Jobs. At this point, we're around 5,000 users as such. So like I think it is doing a very good job.
That's great. I mean, it's very a valid point to say that we can build any product in 24 hours or 48 hours. It's very doable to do
Yes.
because right now we have a lot of tools to
Yeah.
build things if you really wanted to do. So congratulations for that and thank you so much for writing that article because I get to know about this whole thing through that and I got inspired. I'm like, okay, I also need to fill out because I also wanted to build something. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Anjali, as you said, like you migrated from Lovable to Claude and you like uploaded on the Vercel. So, how much did that first version cost you?
Yes. So when I was building with Lovable, because of Lovable Hackathon,
Mhm.
the initial cost was almost zero for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously, I would have costed like it would have costed some credits, but because I was part of that hackathon, it was kind of free. But once I moved out, I kind of did everything from scratch. because Lovable is also not that great in like experimenting and exporting the entire code and everything. So
Right.
experiment is one part and MVP building, and as you also said, it's way easier to test something if things are working. But once I moved out, I've used Claude Code, like the max plan, which is 10,000 max plan. Other than that, all the APIs that I have used for the entire process is around 2 to 3,000 for
Mhm.
everything. So
Okay.
for database and auth, we have used Supabase, which is free for
Mhm.
initial some limit, and hosting I've used Vercel, which was also free. So on an average, for the building part, it was around done in like 15,000 max, past like all the other expenses. And eventually we kind of recovered that in the very first month. And once the product is kind of built, you don't need the Claude Max plan. So you can just downgrade to Pro and then like do all the functioning like that. So at
Yeah.
this point, the functional cost is around 6,000 for
Okay.
the product
Okay.
after the product is has
Initially it
been
was 15, and right now, like for
yes.
monthly cost is
Yes.
five six
Yeah,
thousand.
because it's just maintenance and maybe just some bug fixes and so on.
Okay, okay. That's I mean great, because I think we can get access to the Lovable code, right?
Yes, yes.
So
We
that
can get access. You can get inspired. But as I say, like if you want to scale something, I think Claude Code is doing an excellent job there. And even though Claude Code is obviously expensive and it's like a token hungry machine as such, but I personally believe Claude Code is worth it because you will be able to see significant differences from the model of say Sonnet and Opus and all of this and all the models of any other provider like OpenAI and Perplexity for that matter and so on. Very like if you are obviously scaling things as we will reach eventually and you concern a lot about cost, I think Kimi models are also worth experimenting because they are like kind of cheaper and they are kind of doing the same sort of
same.
work,
Yeah.
and they are also very good with designing. So Claude models are specifically built for say coding, but Kimi models are more about say designing things and keeping things in picture. So eventually you can also explore that. I've explored, but I'm very loyal user of say Claude and Anthropic. So I've not moved yet, but yeah.
I mean, Claude is very easy to work on. So you don't have to think much a lot.
Yes,
So, Anjali, as you said, you have right now 5,000 users, but getting your first user something different, right?
yes,
So, how did you get your first user, and what was the feeling when you get the query?
yes. Yeah. So I have built like around 9 products by now. This is the first product which which got kind of users.
Yeah.
So the key to that is when you can build anything, building is not the most difficult part, right? And the most difficult part becomes distribution. And
Yeah.
hence the entire mode of software development has moved from building to distribution.
Mhm.
In this particular case, I was targeting product managers, people who are looking out for jobs. And I already had the distribution for this. So I have like around 35,000 on LinkedIn. I was already mentoring people who were like ready to take my product and my like kind of word of mouth. And I got like very good workshop results and so on. So in this particular case, I followed the process that the distribution was already there. I
Hmm.
just built a product for that. So
Yeah.
even at the time of launch, with the very first week, we were able to get around 3 paying customers and around like 2,000 users in the very first version. In the second version, because it was like kind of a migration, we lost all of those 2,000 people because you cannot export users as such directly. It's a different thing. So I emailed those people that we have built a new product, but that was like a lose for me, right? Because I just lost all those 2,000 users. So we
Mhm.
restarted everything and
Yeah.
I became very active on LinkedIn and I just started posting on LinkedIn. So that is like, I just increases that surface area of distribution using a channel that was already working, which is LinkedIn. And
Yeah.
why LinkedIn? Because my target audience was people who are looking out for jobs. And
Jobs.
anyone who is looking out for jobs will first go to LinkedIn. So I've
Which
never
is
done any marketing on, say, Instagram or any other thing. So just LinkedIn, organic posts every single day. And that is like how I got all the users I've got till now.
so. I think Anjali, what I'm observing is that the PM role really helps a lot in that whole journey, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, why did you join product manager, not an engineer, as you did your college in
Yes.
engineering? What's the reason?
That's a crazy, crazy story, honestly. And I'll just quickly share. So I started my journey when in engineering, and I was an electrical engineer because my father was an electrical engineer. So it was like a clear sort of thing. And I was not liking it, but I did the entire thing. Like that, this is like one thing which I've learned over time, that you cannot say that I'm not liking something if you have not tried your best.
Correct, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did electrical engineering. I was part of a Formula Student Racing team. I went to Germany to
Yeah.
repaint my car and everything. And I came back and I was like, I don't think I'm liking this. And I was like, okay, what's the next cool thing? Coding was the next cool thing back then. So I
You
self
were, I mean, you were doing great. Yeah, I saw that picture.
Yes. Yeah. So I came back. I was like, I don't think this is meant for me. And when I say this is not meant for me, probably I was not just having fun. That's like my definition of like, is it working or not? So I self-learned coding, and I was in second year, and there was a Google fellowship which came up. So I self-learned Python, and because Python is easier to learn apart from all the languages, and I applied and I got into that Google fellowship. I did that for 2 years, and in the final year, they asked like, we want to extend an internship and so on. And I was like, I am not liking this. Everyone, my parents, obviously my mentors at Google, they were like, do you realize that what big of an opportunity this is it? But I was never a coder at heart. I always need that empathy. I love talking to people. I am like a very people person. So
Person,
then I
yeah.
was like, can you move me to marketing? Because the third big thing was marketing. So then
Mhm.
they was like, okay. So the Google team moved me to Google Ads team for 6 months, and I worked with an NGO and I've managed their ads account and all of these things, and I loved it. But then when they said that, do you want to work in marketing, I was like, I don't think so. I just want to do marketing. So by the end of my college, my parents were like, I don't think there's a job that is meant for you, and that is exactly when I came across product management, which is like
Mhm.
a combination of technology, business, and like design and all of these things. And that is like the biggest takeaway. Like I think in one of the interviews, Steve Jobs have said like, you cannot connect the dots looking backwards, like looking
Right,
forward. You cannot
right.
connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So at this point, I can't know, like, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. But if I have reached tomorrow, I then realized that all of my career was basically preparing me to be like a product manager, and it came very natural to me. I love my job. I love
Great.
all the companies that I have worked with. It has been like 5, 6 years. I'm obviously doing a very well job. And that is also the reason why I'm able to train people to be like a good product manager, because I've kind of like figured it out, kind of. So that is like, I always say this, that PM job has chosen me rather than me choosing like a PM job. So that was like the story.
And that's a great story. So basically, you just don't want to miss anything. Okay, I want to do the technical part. I want to do the designing. That's great. That's great. So Anjali, what the one mistake that get PM rejected instantly, because most of the people want to be an PM.
Yeah.
So what's the one mistake they do?
Feel that the act of entire product management is very practical. That is also the reason why product management jobs will not be the jobs that AI can kind of take,
Yeah.
because it involves a lot of user empathy, product intuition, execution, working with people. And AI is only good at two things, like when you can verify the outputs and
Yeah.
when the people actually want those outputs in first place, right? So in coding, you can always verify if something is working or not. And people like, if I want to click on a button, I don't care if robot has written that code or if you have written. I just want that work to be done. But things like art, things like human psychology, things like execution, collaboration, will not be a very good source at those places. And that is when that is the first reason why AI is not doing a very good job in taking PM jobs as such. PM jobs are like only increasing. But that is the mistake that people do, that it's a very human specific job. Like
Right.
you have to connect to the person. It is not robotic. You cannot follow a framework to do that. But a lot of mistakes that I see is people overemphasize on frameworks. Like
Right.
they will
I
say,
think this is very experimental role.
yes. You will learn by doing, and
Right.
all you
Correct.
have to do is you can figure things out and you can work with people. That is
Hmm.
like the two skills that you have to showcase. Whichever is the situation, you can figure things out and you can work with people. You can get the work done. Right. So that is, I think, the major mistake. Do not overemphasize on frameworks and things like that, and just act like humans to solve any problems. Because if you like in interview, if you just say I'm using circles method, you will
Mhm.
probably never use the circle methods in the job,
Yeah.
right? So,
Correct.
so it doesn't matter if you're using circles or any other method as such, because eventually if you are able to solve the problem intuitively, that's the best case scenario.
Right, I'm totally agree with it because this is something very for me it's very hard role. But in starting when we had a call, maybe
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's a very easy role. We just have to. But when we go deep into that, it's very complicated. You have to think, like really think about the situations and all, how you are going to navigate the things.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, it's a
definitely.
very
It's always
interesting role.
easier. It's always easier to do the work than
Yeah.
getting the work done, because so, and PM job is basically getting something done. So
Right.
that's why it is harder. But then also it has like its rewards. It's like, and at all times most like wanted, most paid. So it just kind of like balances out the risk to reward kind of ratio.
Correct, correct. So, Anjali, you are creating content related to the mindset and all. I'm following you on AI, and that's a great, great content. Keep doing that. So, I have one question related to that. So, why are people who are good with AI also the one who are good mentally as well?
Yeah. So I think that that's a clear, I would say that like both of these things are kind of same. And that
Correct.
is like one thing which I kind of figured it out myself when I started using AI for my workflows. It came naturally to me because I've like done a lot of mindset training, and I was also like train my brain to so that. And if you think of this is the concept that in AI, there's an input, there's a processing, and then there's an output out of it, right? Same happens with human beings as such. The inputs is like all the information you are getting from your senses, eyes, sense, touch, hearing, and so on. Processing is your brain, like your brain processes something, and output is what is happening outside here, right? So I believe there are two worlds. Like the very first world is the outside world, which is like what is happening with me, who all I live with, and so on. And the second world is inside world, which is who am I, what do I want, why I'm doing this, why I'm sad, and so on. Right.
That's the
But
real word. Right.
yes, that's the real word. I called it universe, which is like with the YOU, and
Mm.
that's my business. Like that's my ideology, Universal Studios, as
Yeah.
such. But when you think about this, right, in terms of AI, if you just prompt something, like if you just go to Lovable and then say build me an app, you will
Yeah.
get very bland results. Same as with us in like in terms of goal settings, in terms of brain. If you tell your brain that I want to me, it'll never work because
Right.
it is very vague as such. So hence we taught like hence we like we were asked to learn all prompt engineering and frameworks and all of these things, but nobody has actually taught us to like do the same thing for goal setting. That I want maybe 10 lakhs of money by the end of next month because I want to do this. And it's way more clearer for the brain to understand and look out for opportunities, which the same AI is kind of doing. The second thing is everything is contexting. Like if you say hi, if I say hi, both of us will get like very different results because of
Mhm.
our context, location, and so on. Same is with our brain, but the context is, I believe, is belief system. So if you go out in the market and then you say that, there are no jobs for me, you will eventually not find more jobs because
Correct.
you are kind of conditioned to do like that. Same as
Right.
with AI. If you now take a document of say a to-do list and then you ask like, can you build me an app? It will probably build the same thing for you, right?
Hmm.
And same as with like our belief systems in general. Rather, if you believe that this is my skill set and there has to be one job in the market, like one job out of like millions of jobs that are being posted here, one job that just matches exactly what I'm kind of looking out for. And then you'll be able to target that. And that's exactly how I've got like all the jobs, all of my job search maximum rate like lasted for around 2 to 3 weeks. I was
Wow.
able to also like I was able to get a job without sending my resume in AI because I was sending side projects and so on. And the last part, which I think is most important part, is like feedback loop. If you talk to ChatGPT and then you say that I don't like this response, it will learn. Same is with us, right? The feedback loop is how do you make sense of it? So if something bad happens, like first time you get rejected to the job,
Right.
you won't start believing that my profile is not good, I am not good enough, and so on. You just realize that it was not a right fit. Move
Yeah.
on. And that's how you kind of like close the loop. And that's why I think that both of these things are same. So if you understand one, it's kind of synonymous and it's very easy to understand the other one in general.
Yeah, I mean, correct. The same with me, like the jobs that I did, didn't send the resume. And it
Yeah.
was like my experiences and all. So it
Yes.
was like that. So yeah, it was a great experience. Also, Anjali, just wanted to ask one thing. It was not in the list, but what do you think about the resume in this era? Does it matter right now or not?
So it does matter, of course, and I will never. I don't think we have reached to a point where I can say that resumes doesn't matter, but
Yeah,
definitely they don't matter as much as they used to matter before.
yeah,
And one thing I think you have also mentioned in the PM part is like now at this point in time, if you are just putting like resumes are not just a show like telling stories now. You
Mhm.
have to showcase your work. So if
Yeah,
you basically mention that you know AI, it is of no use. If you know vibe coding, you can like build a project in like 2 hours. And if you are telling on your resume that you know vibe coding and there's no project on your resume, then it's a like it will get rejected.
of
Right.
course.
So resumes do matter. Now the placement of resume, like the objective of resumes has moved to like a portfolio kind of thing
Hmm.
rather than like just reading out your resume because of AI. Like you can't experimentally, like you cannot practically say that you need 5 years of AI experience because it was not there. Right?
Correct.
Now you have to showcase that for whatever time AI was there, I have just best use of this time and these resources, and I have built this. And like whatever I have built is also relevant for your industry, and that's why I want this job. Like that
Right.
should be the ideal process flow in general.
So right now, it like resume is not enough. You should build a portfolio.
Yes.
So Anjali, let's get back to the mindset. So, what's your one mindset framework that you use daily and that keeps you going every day?
There are a lot, honestly, but then if I have to just kind of pick one
Yeah.
area of as such, it's there are always two sides of it. Like, and you basically you have to choose whichever side you choose. The very first side is the brain side of it, which has like arteries and your brain and amygdala and all of this. If you're interested, you can go there. There's like neuroscience apart from this and so on. The second side is the mind side of it, feelings, emotions, psychological aspects, and so on. Both of these kind of say the same thing, right? So whether you believe in manifestation or whether you believe in like neuroplasticity,
Yeah.
both of these things are kind of saying that you can change your brain and you should change that, right?
Yeah.
You should change yourself. The best way and the best method, and I don't think it's a method and so on, is you consciously put yourself in situations which are difficult. Like you ask for the moon, you ask like set extremely unrealistic goals. Like
Goals.
if I basically have to earn money, I will never say something like 30% and so on. I was able to 10x my income in the last 5 years, and this is pure short because of this, because I genuinely asked for moon that
Right.
I want to 10x my income, and then you basically backtrack. Okay, I want to reach here. This is the version of me which has the 10x of my income. And as I said, whichever process you go through, neuroplasticity or manifestation, whichever works for you, you have to believe that it works. You have to believe you can do that. And then you have to push yourself. You have to, like, it starts with belief, but you have to push yourself that because it is possible, because you want to reach there, you can reach there. And it is like amazing process. Like I've been doing this for like last 3 years. It is like a game of life. It's every
That's
single day you wake up and you're like,
yeah.
okay, I'm at stage 2. How should I move ahead? Okay, I'm at stage 3. And the superpower you'll obviously gain, like just like a game, you'll gain some superpower. So your belief system is one of the superpower, obviously.
Yeah.
But then you'll also surround yourself with people who are kind of like-minded, who are not like pushing you down. And the second thing is nobody cares. Everyone is kind of thinking about their own self because exactly that what you are doing. So if you really want to do something, be cringe. Like be cringe. Like be cringe is to be free is my theory.
Yeah.
And you have to move ahead. You have to start somewhere, and not because you want to earn money and fame, and because it's just fun. Like it's just fun to live life that. And I think having fun, and you can change your brain are the two things which I keep reminding myself. And I think, yeah, it's just fun that way.
Yeah, that's great. So, Anjali, I am trying to, understand like, okay, how we can implement these little habits to, reach the goals that we want because I'm also like, I'm asking for myself as well. Now I'm little selfish here. So what's a practical thing we could do? Like, okay, I want to reach here. What what I need to change, because becoming a person is very difficult, right? So what's the thing you use like in daily life? I just wanted to know
Yeah.
that.
I think I use very unethical things to move ahead. But the very first one is envy. And I
Okay.
personally feel that envy, I sympathize with envy because envy was sold for a very different reasons. It was always said that envy is a negative emotion, but I don't think so. If I envy someone, I probably want that life, either in terms of money, body, whatever it is, like
Yeah.
partner, whatever, right? So if you come to me and then you say that you have run 10-kilometer marathon, I'll probably congratulate you and then I'll say, okay, wow, I will never feel something. If you come to me and then you say that you have built a multi-billion-dollar business, I will
Hmm.
envy you. This is
Yeah.
a fact. And
Yeah.
I can never teach myself that don't envy. Why should I not envy? Envy is the reason which tells you where exactly you want to go. So I think it starts with envy, and everyone kind of envies someone somewhere in general. You just have to take a piece of paper,
Yeah.
write down who do you envy? Like just plain short. Who do you envy? And then why exactly do you do that? Like, is it because of body? Is it because of privileges and things like that? Second step is gratitude. And even though this is like one of the things which is obviously oversold,
Yeah.
by design, our brain is built to make us safe. So by default, we are negative people. By design, like everyone around us are pessimists in general because that is helping us to survive. We have to train our brain to move towards the right things because what you believe, you will see in general. So I have a habit where every single day I write gratitude journal plus magic of the day. So
Okay.
gratitude journal is like 10 things which you are grateful for.
Mm.
And it doesn't need to be like, I am very grateful for my laptop. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely write my laptop in my gratitude journal because I do a remote job. I will never be able to do that if this is not here. I'm
Yeah.
very grateful that I have like my mom to call and very basic things. You obviously do not need like Taj Mahal to kind of be grateful for as such, but
Right.
because you are able to see 10 good things every, and it can be same every single day, because you're able to see 10 good things every single day, everything moves from gratitude. Everything, literally, you have to feel good in the present moment, and then you also have a vision for the future. So it's like a graph, XY graph. In here it's like happiness in the now, and for happiness in the now you need this gratitude journal, and then this is a vision for the future. And
Okay.
for vision to the future, you need envy. Like,
Yeah.
who do I want to become? So you plot these two things, and magic is basically a connecting factor. Now,
Okay.
I am happy. I'm kind of like okay doing, and I want to reach here. And then this here is you have to define. So
Yeah.
take a piece of paper, write in present tense. And this is something which I have learned. This is not my theories. I have done a lot of Mind Valley courses and all of this. In present tense, define an ideal day for you. So if I obviously wanted to attract money initially, then I've also wanted to like look very good in general. So I have like kind of defined my day that, when I look in the mirror, I was able to see a very confident person, and in present tense, always in present tense. If you
Yeah.
keep
Okay.
on thinking about like I will get money, you're kind of manifesting the will get money. So it will always be like
That's thank you for because I was doing in future.
yes, yes. 100% times in present tense. At this point, I am grateful for money and whatever that is for you. And the last step is the cost price tag principle. So to become like to get a lot of money, or for example, to get a very good career, who do I want to become? Like, what exactly are my characteristic traits? And this particular thing I've done in like relationships.
Mhm.
I was in a very toxic relationship. I was the toxic person, though, like obviously. But then I realized that if I want a healthy relationship, I
Yeah.
want to become a healthy person. Like I would want to spread love. I would want to send like healthy vibes in relationship. And I call it a too good to be true principle because
Mhm.
sometimes we just don't know. So just
Yeah.
define too good to be true vision in terms of obviously personality, money, finance, and there are obviously too many things.
Yeah.
And then follow this approach every single day. You are at level 2, you are at level 3, and then that's like the game of life plays along. You will reach there, and it's a process which works from both brain and mind perspective. It is tried, tested. Half of the manifestation world kind of is working on this, but it works. And when you reach there, you have just unlocked more superpowers to ask for something more. It's like a ongoing process in general. So that's how I have done it. That's how like it works. This is exactly what I'm trying to teach in my Universal Studios business, which is like starts from you and then
Mhm.
eventually like move towards like the outer universe. That's like the entire theory behind this.
Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, I love it. You reminded me that one Instagram comment, God, I'm seeing what you are doing for others. So that's me for me. But yeah, I mean, I love the girls talk when girls talk. So we were talking about the startups and all tech, and here we are sharing the wisdom. So
That's the power of podcast, I would say.
yeah. I'm loving it, loving it. Thank you so much for sharing. And I am going to apply this four-step formula for sure. So
Yeah, I am.
Anjali, you are doing a lot of things, full-time jobs, and content creation as well, and you are married as well, right? How do you manage this thing? Because I'm living with my parents, and it's very difficult to manage with them also. So how you are doing all the things?
Yes, it is very difficult. Like just to be like super clear, I will never tell that it's very easy and so on. But the entire baseline is that I love it. And that's the thing. Like I was also having this discussion with my mom, and she was also mentioning the same thing that I was like surviving on very less sleep, and I do XYZ things, and I do all of these sessions as well. I write, obviously done a lot of things, and then it hit me. Naval Ravikant is like a person which I kind of like, he's like the guru for me. And it just reminded me of one of his theories where he said that you will do great in those areas which kind of looked like work for others, but looks like play to you. And he obviously mentioned in a very different business kind of context. But then I realized whatever I'm doing, I have always been a hyper personality. Like I don't know, I like, and in general I've read so many books like you should focus one thing, you should do one thing, and so on. It just, I was just never fitting in, and I thought something was wrong with me. Like all these things, Atomic Habits, one thing, all of these people will tell you that there is one passion of yours that you have to follow and go all in and so on. It doesn't work like that. There are people like me who wants to do everything, and I'll probably do everything kind of, and I love it. Obviously, at this point in time, at this age, I'm also capable of managing this lifestyle. But eventually, like I'll just do what I'm having fun with, and hence the rule. Like if something is there which looks like work to other and play to you, that's the thing. You should always double down on that. So I think that is like what is keeping me sane with all like the other schedule and so on.
Yeah, you reminded me of Priyanka Chopra. She also, mentioned that there's nothing wrong choosing multiple things. That
Yes.
can be your passion, and you
Yes.
should follow that. You shouldn't, stick to just one thing.
Yes.
So, Anjali, now I just wanted to say one thing first. I love that four framework thing, right? And the wisdom you have shared and the mindset thing. I really, really loved it. That's a genuine feedback, and keep doing it. And now let's do the rapid fire round. So I'll ask 4 to 5 questions, and you don't have to think much.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. So okay. Ship in 7 days or research for 3 months?
Ship in 7 days, any day.
Okay. LinkedIn or Substack for building audience? That's tricky. LinkedIn. Correct, correct. Okay, so the third is mentor one person deeply or mentoring 100 people broadly.
This is the most tricky one.
Yeah.
But I would say mentor one person deeply because I want to create someone like me so that they can also like mentor 100 people and so on. So it's like
Wow, that's a very
MLM
hard
magic.
answer. Okay, so mindset or skill, what matters most?
Mindset, any day.
Okay.
80%, 80-20.
Okay, side hustle or full-time job?
Both, I would say. I cannot choose. I cannot choose at this point. I'm like the one doing it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can prioritize, but I think both. Can't decide.
Okay. Chai or coffee?
No, none. I just don't drink anything.
That's great. You're like me.
Yeah.
Okay, mountains and beaches.
Beaches, any day.
Really?
Blue.
Your sky is blue, huh? That's great. That's great, Anjali. I love talking to you. I don't want to end this podcast, but do you have any advice that you want to share with the audience?
I have advices that will tell you to figure who you really are. And it is a very cliched advice. As such, you'll never figure it out who you really are. But who you really are in this version, like in this 1 month, in this 1 year, who you really are, what you want to do, it will change. And do not associate yourself with like one personality that I am this and I am that, because you're not. Humans are meant for like doing more and in general. And if you have learned something, just make sure to share it with someone, like whatever, like if you can mentorship, you can write, you can tell, like whichever format you use. If you have learned something, it's kind of a human responsibility to give it back. So that's
Right.
like my second takeaway, that if you're learning anything, just give it back in any way which works for you. So I think that is all.
That's great because the things you are mentioning, I read these things in the Buddhism courses, and I'm like, oh shit, about these things. That's great.
I have never done Buddhism courses, but I have done a lot of mindset training and all of this. I was not born like this naturally. That's how I know that you can learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I am glad to be like associated with Buddhism, and as such, it's just the entire point is of having fun. And like if you're having fun, double down. If you're not having fun, figure something out, move to the next version, then double down, and so on. But just make sure to have fun.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Anjali, for sharing the wisdom. I think that's the correct word for this whole podcast. We shared a lot of wisdom here, and I really, really loved it. I hope we will do the series of podcasts with you, maybe.
Yes,
You
would
have
love to do
some
that.
you have
Would
some
love to do
like
a
if you have
series.
some time, I would love to go deep into that because we generally don't talk about the mindset things and all.
Yeah, would love to do that. That's like my forte. And at this point in time, I love doing that. So, like, yeah, I would never mind.
So thank you so much, Anjali, and thank you so much everyone for watching us. I'll see you super soon.
Thank you.